All right, so today we're coming from Second Corinthians, and I want to talk about Paul. Never really understand Paul and like why people liked him so much. I always thought like if Paul was persecuting Christians, he was doing all this bad stuff to Christians. Like, and then you figure out Paul get all that stuff back in return. He get a lot of karma. He get persecuted a lot. He get whipped a lot. He get sent to prison a lot. So just from this one verse in Second Corinthians 12:14, he say, now I am ready to visit for the third time, and I will not be a burden to you, because what I want is not your possessions, but you after all. Children should not say children should not have to save up for their parents, but parents for their children. So Paul, he's like, I don't even want the benefits. I want the full relationship with God. I want God himself. You know how close you have to be to God. Like even thinking about how much you have to go through to even like think about God like that. Like I don't want the benefits of like a good life. I just want God himself. I want the relationship with God himself. Like that will make you drop a tear because a lot of people are suffering today. A lot of people go through the day and they want better. They want to just escape all this suffering. But Paul is like, forget the like. Hold on, let me make sure I ain't tripping up. So basically, Paul is saying everything is secondary. So people like no, like forget that. It, it, it's much more that God requires you to live is much more disciplined than a monk, than than somebody just trying to do average, whatever it is. Because walking to the path of God is a narrow path, and not many people can walk the path. Because for one, on this path, it requires you to study. It requires you to have self-control. It requires you to have patience. It requires you to be gentle. It requires a lot of things of you to be on a narrow path of God. And then on top of that, it requires you to have the proper perception and also what God is meaning. You have to know the will of God and understand like how to protect their heart as well. Because a lot of people, you know, they talk about Christians, right? And Christian that, Christian this, these Christians, like, it's never about these people. This is what my grandma said to me, right? It's not about the people. It's always about you and God. Stop letting people distract you from God. That goes from people who's persecute me, for people like anything, bro. Because people are always going to have their own, like their own little shit. So what going deeper into what Paul is actually talking about, it's like even if I do have money and if I lose it, it's not gonna break me. I still have God. Even if I have women and I lose them, it's not gonna break me. I still have God. Even if I have praise, prestige, and I lose it, it's not gonna break me. I still have God. So to clarify everything up, he ain't basically saying, "Oh, I don't want that. I don't want this," but it's not gonna make him as a person. That's not his character. So yeah, Paul, I'm messing with Paul a lot right now because I never really understand why people like Paul until I'm getting until I'm reading Corinthians myself. Until I'm actually understanding Paul for myself and reading it. Like, man,